Hello again, people. Hope you're all well. Today I'm back in Thundridge in Hertfordshire, and I'm going to be wild camping at Cold Christmas Church, and I'm doing a little walk around Thundridge, about 4.4 miles from another new book, 50 Walks in Hertfordshire. I'm joined by my partner in crime,
hello.
Jake.
Right.
And
I was gonna...
yeah, we're because he found the information about the church, what sparked my interest in it, and we're just heading around the front of the pub, the Feathers Inn, where we were last time, to meet up with Owen. Owen's joined us from Albion Camping as well. The three amigos, Tres Hombres.
It's not your friend.
He should be somewhere here. And here he is. Hello, chap.
Hello, mate. You alright?
You're on camera already, mate.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Nice one.
Nice to meet you,
Owen,
mate.
Jake Owen.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Right. Well, we're leaving the Feathers Inn now at Thundridge, and we're starting a walk from the village stores. And yeah, we'll be passing Cold Christmas Church en route, so we'll show you that. And of course, we'll be back there later on for our spooky wild camp. Woo! So should be good. Anyways, enough talking, let's get walking. Right, we're heading up this steep path now up to the new church of St Mary's in Thundridge, and then we'll be retracing our steps back and heading towards Thundridge Old Church, which is of course the haunted one, with just the tower remaining. And here we are. Here is the new church of St Mary's in Thundridge at the top of the hill. So yeah, we'll go in and take a look.
Just to let you know, guys, the door's locked. We failed miserably.
It's bloody locked. Right, so we're in the graveyard here, and I've got a little bit to tell you about kind of the child deaths that occurred sort of in the 1800s here, and of course that's why Cold Christmas Church is particularly creepy. So here at the new church, the main local landowning family, the Hanburys, left their mark on Thundridge village. At the new church, a tomb by the gate, which I think is this one, I'm not sure, is a sad indication of the 19th century infant mortality. Robert and Emily Hanbury buried 5 of their children in the churchyard between 1825 and 1834. It says on this side of the tomb, buried with the father, Robert Culling Hanbury, MP. He was 44 years old, and there's also 2 of their children buried there. Francis William, who died September the 18th, 1863, aged 11 years and 6 months, and Herbert, who died September the 29th, 1863, aged 6 years and 1 month. Also his wife Caroline as well is buried there. She was 36. So yeah, I think basically with the infant mortalities was, like, hence the name Cold Christmas. I think it was one really cold Christmas in the 1800s. Like, the winter was so harsh that a lot of the children of the village didn't survive.
I think it was really early 1800s though. The Cold Christmas ones are like 18 and...
They might
10.
be even earlier, something like that. Yeah, we'll soon see when we get there. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't happen nowadays, of course, because like, it just wouldn't happen, would it? Really, we wouldn't have.
It's called central heating.
It's called central heating. Brilliant, lovely. British gas speaking here. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it just adds to the creepiness of this place, really. And then we also seen this grave here, didn't we? That we was like, that's pretty spooky. Yeah. So yeah, it's all adding to the Halloween vibe of this video. Anyway, I nearly tripped over that. Right. Yeah, unfortunately, church is locked, as we mentioned, so can't go in there. Yeah, we'll carry on with the walk. Right, we've left the the new church at Thundridge, St Mary's, and saw some really cool graves there. We're heading towards the old church now, which, yeah, hopefully we're going to wild camp at tonight. Should be pretty spooky. So yeah, seeing as it's Halloween, in keeping with it, we've been sort of chatting about horror films and stuff like that. So yeah, get in the comments and let us know. Are you a fan of horror films? What's your favourite horror film? All that jazz. Let's get chatting with Jake's like, why you even mention this, Tom? But conversation stimulator. Yeah, and here we are, we're back at Cold Christmas Church, or St Mary's Old Church, Thundridge, as it's properly known. Really, really creepy place, and as I said before in the last video, it's all boarded up and it's all filled in, the tower, so you can't get in there. And it looks like as well, this looks like a new sign. Heritage Watch operates in this area, police are patrolling. I don't remember seeing that before, so they're not doing a very good job because someone's had a firework over here. So yeah, keep trying. And yeah, here's the graveyard, and then this forest over here, other side this fence, is where we're gonna look for one of our spots we scouted out to wild camp tonight. And yeah, this time got a bit more history to tell you about the place. So we're around the back now by, I think, the original doorway, and this has changed since we were last here. We was here, what, a couple of months ago would it have been, something like that?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Can't remember. And some tosser has like tried to dig their way through the wall. That is disgusting. Like, you're not going to get very far, are you? You're just going to damage an ancient monument. But yeah, there's a lot of graffiti and stuff on the wall. Some of it's quite old, isn't it? And then we've got some upside down crosses, in keeping with the Halloween theme. Where are they again? There's one there.
That's the old
1881. Is that? Yeah. There's yeah, a lot of it about and stuff. Yeah, it's a shame as well because people have like snapped the heads off the gravestones as well over there and stuff. It's literally just completely left to ruin. I mean, there's not a lot really they can do to protect the place, just board it up, keep people out, I guess. So it's a shame really, because it ruins it for people like us that would just want to go in and have a look, you know, do some filming and stuff. But you get all the Satanists and the nutters that come down here and stuff, and like, look, like that's been just dumped there. That obviously wasn't there originally. That's, yeah, they're actual headstones that people have ripped up and taken. It's fucking awful. Yeah, it's bad.
If I find the grave, I'll put it back. I'll put a mark on it.
I don't know if you would though. Like, if you would find it. I mean, they weren't here last time we come down, so that has happened since. So if you're watching this and you've done this,
I found a pound.
you are fucking scum. You found a quid.
I found a pound in the floor.
Oh, every cloud, eh? Anyway, right.
You haven't done the old knocking on the door yet.
The correct name of this church is the Church of All Hallows and Little St Mary. Occultists refer to it as Cold Christmas Church because it sounds more sinister. Probably originally built as a private chapel, this was a small medieval church dating from the 11th or 12th century, consisting of a nave with a timbered south porch and chancel. Of course, it was built on the north-south alignment, which is seen as the sign of the devil, apparently. Records show that there was certainly a chapel here in 1086 on lands given to Hugh de Grentmesnil by William the Conqueror for his battlefield prowess at Hastings in 1066. The south doorway was Norman, 12th century, and the chancel arch Saxon, indicating that an original church might have existed in earlier Saxon times. The walls were flint rubble rendered with plaster. The western tower, constructed of 3 stages, has angled buttresses on the west side. In the 14th century, a fine window was added to the tower, and this can still be seen despite the attempts of vandals to deface it. Its embattled parapet was added during the 15th century and was crowned with a slim leaded spire, otherwise known as a Hertfordshire spike. Got a little picture of that here. So there you go, you can see that. The bell chamber contained 4 bells, now in the new church which we just visited, dating from medieval to Tudor times. The parapet has now been straightened for safety reasons, and much of it is held together with iron bolts and glands. The doorway has a round arch with chevron and other mouldings, which you can see in the foreground here. The window is of 2 trefoiled lights with tracery under a square head. On the south wall is a stone with a quatrefoil piercing, and in the centre a rose. In the west wall is a doorway with a window above it of the 15th century. I think that's round the back where some idiot had tried to tunnel in. The 15th century bell chamber windows are each of 2 lights trefoiled with a quatrefoil in the head. A prominent feature of the tower to date is the square sundial on the south wall, 2nd stage up. An unusual feature was 2 dormer windows in the south side of the tiled roof of the nave, so I think that would have come out to here. They were probably added in the 17th century to give more light. A story has existed for many years that the churchyard contained a mass burial site for children from local villages who died during a particularly cold winter, late medieval times, and that this event is the origin for the name Cold Christmas. During the 18th century, the old village of Thundridge became less and less populous, and the land surrounding the old church became part of the Youngsbury House estate. As a result, the church became less used. During a structural survey in 1843, it was found that the timbers at the base of the spire had decayed and the rubble walls were cracked in places, and although they were supported by recently added iron ties, it was considered unsafe to ring the bells. It was surveyed again in 1851, and it was estimated that it would cost £1,800 to repair, and as the church was now very isolated, it was decided to build a new church 3/4 of a mile to the west, where the new village of Thundridge had grown up by the London to Cambridge road. Of course, everyone always says like the myth was that they pulled the church down because it was on a north-south alignment and it was associated with the devil. Apparently when you could get in the tower, people said you could hear like groaning and growling and stuff, and apparently a demon lived in the tower, and as you started climbing the steps up the tower it would growl at you to leave. Whether you believe it, it's mythology, it doesn't matter really, it's still fascinating. The demolition of the church proved to be a wise decision, as shortly before the new church was consecrated in November 1853, the roof of the old church fell in. In 1854, the nave and chancel were taken down, and it is said that much of the material, including the flints, were used in the restoration of Sachem Church, which is up the road. The churchyard continued to be used for burials until 1882. Many gravestones still exist from the 18th century, although many have been destroyed by vandalism, which is a real shame. You see a lot of them, like over here, they've just like snapped them off, and as if it weren't bad enough, I mean, like the writings, decaying from the moss and just, the weather, but then just idiots come along and just destroy stuff. Like, why would you want to do that? That's not part of satanic rituals, it's just stupidity. It's a real shame. A number have been removed for safekeeping in Ware Museum. That's good, at least. The churchyard was popular as a picnic spot in Victorian times, and open-air Christian services were held in the churchyard until 1989. The lonely tower is all that remains, and because of maintenance costs, its isolation, lack of services and vandalism, its future is very much uncertain. Although demolition has been suggested, this currently is not, fortunately, being planned. I really hope it doesn't get demolished. That would be really sad to see this go. At the moment, the churchyard is being maintained by East Hertfordshire Council, and the tower will continue to be maintained by the owners, the Diocese of St Albans. Thundridge Parish Council and many local residents have, over the past few years, have made many efforts to preserve the old church, and many visitors come to see this historic and beautiful monument. Long may this continue. So I've just found that from this thing that I found in an information box. Really fascinating. And there's a few close-ups of some of like the archways and the moulding, stuff like that. It's a brilliant place, this. And yeah, as I say, we're gonna try and wild camp tonight in that forest over there. It could be quite spooky, and yeah, we're gonna have to be quite stealthy about this. So, but no, it should be really good fun. You can see these little small graves in the foreground here. I mean, we mentioned on the video last time when we were scouting this place out, they were probably children's graves, and then all of these over the back here belong to a family called the Gutteridge, and they've got a couple of their kids buried there as well. The far end one is of a child grave as well. Yeah, there's some really old headstones here. You can it's hard to read them, so I'm not going to bother, but yeah, look at some of the carvings on them. Amazing. Although Thundridge and Wade's Mill are on Roman Ermine Street, they were not always so. Thundridge, like many early Anglo-Saxon settlements, grew up off the road, about half a mile to the east, along the valley of the River Rib. Of its original village, only the 15th century tower of the old church survives, this being it, of course. There is a reset Norman doorway in its tower arch, together with the remains of a moat and a fragment of the old manor house, Thundridge Bury. This peculiar fragment is the Tudor chimney stack with 3 fireplaces, one above the other. The rest of the house was demolished in 1811. Here's the remains of the outer church wall that would have gone round the graveyard as well. And, a few more old graves at the back here. Probably some of the oldest graves I've ever seen in a churchyard. To our left here is the grounds of Youngsbury, which is a country house from 1745 set in capability brown parkland. Okay, update on the walk. We're now in the village of High Cross and we've just stopped at the petrol station to get some snacks and some extra booze. 10 quid's worth of booze to be precise, and got a few new ciders as well that I've not seen before, so I had to get them. I'm not going to do all of them tonight, so we're going to have a little look at the church here at High Cross, and then there's also the White Horse pub, so we've got to go in there for a cheeky half. See you in a bit. Okay, we just got to the Church of St John the Evangelist at High Cross. Wow, it's a pretty cool tower there, and not sure if it's open or not. We'll go in and find out again. Unfortunately it's locked already. We're not going to set up and walk and make that mistake this time. Oh well. Right, now I'm going to be respectful of the dead, but this is quite funny. James Arnold fell asleep in Jesus. I hope Jesus knew about that. Yeah, he fell asleep in Jesus. Blimey. Will, I know you've got a funny joke to say about that, mate. So we're outside the White Horse in High Cross, and unfortunately it ceased trading permanently on the 2nd of the 1st, 2017. So yeah, we've only missed it by a few months. That's a shame. Look like a nice little pub as well. And it's to serve Adnams as well.
It's quite rare up here.
Banging, yeah, it's good, isn't it? Right, I think we're going down that way. In Marshall's Lane, High Cross, you'll see Marshall's, a Victorian house to the left. This was once the home of Colonel Arthur Martin Leake, an army surgeon who held the distinction of having been awarded the Victoria Cross twice, known as VC and Bar. Born in 1874, his first act of meritorious bravery was in South Africa in 1902 during the Boer War, and his second Victoria Cross came in Belgium in 1914 during World War I. He was the first to receive the medal twice and remains one of only 3 to have been recognised in this way. He died in 1953 and is buried at St John the Evangelist Church, High Cross, where we've just been. That's pretty cool. A little bit of history there for you. He lived here. Okay, we're in this little wooded area now, and then there's this steep drop down here. And yeah, this is the old riverbed of the Bourne River. So we're following that into Wade's Mill, and then back to Thundridge. Into the wall. We're back in Thundridge, and ahead of us, if I zoom in, there's the pub. So that's where we've parked, and yeah, we're heading in there for a drink, and then we'll get some food, and we're probably gonna then, as I say, head off when it's dark back to Cold Christmas Church. Bang in. Okay, it's been quite a few hours since I last filmed. We've had a lot to eat, quite a bit to drink in the pubs I should say, and got our gear now, and we're heading back to Cold Christmas Church to look for somewhere in the forest that we scouted out a while back to camp. It's about 10 o'clock now. Sort of we've seen quite a lot of police cars and like dog units outside the pub, which was a little bit worrying when we found out there'd been a serious assault on a female. It's very nice. So yeah, Thundridge seems yeah, quite a nice idyllic little place really. I'm sure it's not that bad, it was just a one-off thing, but yeah, it sort of shit us up a little bit because we thought maybe they was patrolling the area, sort of looking for any people sort of like Satanists or dodgy people hanging about. So anyways, yeah, the wind's picked up a bit though, So hopefully it's not going to be too bad. Anyways, what I'll probably do is I'll bring you back in a little bit when we get to the church ruins. See you in a bit. Yeah, the church is over there, other side that fence. So we're heading round this this little footpath now into the woods, adjacent to the adjacent to the graveyard, and we're going to try and find somewhere to set up in there amongst the trees. And I just saw a bat. You can just see the tower now. Just probably just about make it out in the darkness there. I'm shining the head torch on it, but yeah, that looks proper creepy. Happy Halloween, guys. This should be pretty good. Right, the adventure starts here now. I've heard sort of rumours that you get a lot of Satanists and people come down here to like practice black magic and stuff, so we don't want to be lumped in with them. Yeah, the graveyard's just through there. So loads of fallen trees as well. Right. Oh, right, we'll bring you back when we're set up. Alright, welcome back, guys. It's about 11 o'clock now, and we've set up our tents and bivvy bags, and we're literally not very far. Just through the trees here is Cold Christmas Church. Wind's picked up a little bit, but it's not actually too cold really. So yeah, I've gone for my new model Grab Ridge Raider hoot bivvy. I've got my Z-Lite full length foam silver pad in there, and I've got my half OEX self-inflating pad as well, down bag, so we've gone for extra comfort. Stove of choice, we've got the OEX XT3 new gas canister, and a lot more ciders as well. And then Jake, he's just sort of finishing setting up. He's got my old model Rab Ridge Raider hoot bivvy, and he really likes it, you say, so far?
Yeah, it actually fits me, I'm surprised. Well,
yeah, he's really pleased with that.
If anyone's over 6'2", then
it's banging.
Yeah.
You got your Highlander sleeping bag in there, haven't you?
Yeah, we'd be really heavy duty one.
Yeah, I said
really bulky. But
yeah, I said bring a thicker sleeping bag just in case you get too cold in that, as it's your first time using it. You got a closed cell foam pad full length and a self-inflating half pad, I think, haven't you? Like a high gear one that I sold you, yeah. And then Owen here has got, here he is. He's got his usual snug pack ionosphere. You got your snug pack sleeping bag in there as well.
It's all the same as last time, unfortunately. So it's,
decent kit though, decent kit. It's a cracking little tent this. And oh yeah, that's come undone. Yeah, the wind's picking up a little bit, but it ain't too bad. And this tree's nice and green, so there shouldn't be any deadfall. And yeah, we've kind of lined ourselves up in a little configuration here. All will become clear in the morning, of course, as always. So yeah, we're going to chill out for a little bit, probably have a drink, maybe something to eat, and then we're going to head over to the church and have a little creepy mooch about in there, see if we can find any Satanists or devils and whatnot. So yeah, should be pretty cool. Okay, right, we'll chat to you soon. Alright guys, well, first cider review of the night is going to go to this pear cider, crisp and dry cider. specially selected for Spa. So we picked it up in a little petrol station which had the Spa shop on it, so just thought we'd give this a go. It was nice and cheap, under £2, 4.5%. Yeah, we'll crack this one open, let's give it a try. Happy Halloween. Thank you for watching so far, hope you haven't got too bored. It's been a good one. Cheers Jake, cheers Owen.
Cheers.
Owen's just cooking up, boiling some water for a hot drink.
I'm the lighting man.
Yeah, Jake's lighting technician. We need what's it, the best key grip or something? Anyway, right, cheers anyway.
Tally-ho.
Oh, it's very dry for a pear cider. It does taste a bit cheap. The pear's quite faint. It's not bad though. It's a little bit pale looking, but it doesn't taste very strong. I mean, I know it's only 4.5%, but it's not too bad though. I don't mind it though. I quite like it that way, so it's alright. It's not too fizzy. It's actually fairly still looking. That was Jake just letting one rip.
Oh,
that's probably going to get a higher rating than this cider will. So, anyways, so Spa pear cider, I want to give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's not bad, but I've had better pear ciders, but I can still quite happily drink that, especially after the amount I've had tonight anyway and today. Having a slightly weaker cider is probably a good thing, so yeah, it's banging. Anyways, cheers. Okay, so it's midnight and we're leaving the shelters behind and we're heading over to the remains of the church. So far so good though. Huh?
Behind the campsite. Looks
Oh,
really
yeah, there's our campsite. You can
eerie,
just see that light. I'll just switch the head torch off. There, that light in the centre of the screen, that's camp. It's just so we can find our way back through the forest. And oh, okay, we're back at the church at Cold Christmas. Don't know how clear it's going to come up on the camera here. So it's midnight now. Here's the child graves. And yeah, here's the church. Up to the tower. Gravestones in the darkness there. It's a shame that they've had to put that horrible corrugated iron up to stop people from trying to climb into the window up there. Yeah, since the last time we was here, people have, like I mentioned earlier, they've uprooted headstones and stuff. It's pretty bad. There's fireworks on the floor here. It's not good. Yeah, there's our light in the distance. So yeah, we're gonna head round to the main doorway. The tower up there. That's really cool, isn't it? Do you want to go and knock on the door? Yeah. Jake's going to go and knock on the door. Yeah, no, some of this graffiti looks like runes, or like, you know, like Viking sort of runes and stuff like that. It does look really old. It's just like every last available bit of like plaster or mortar someone has written, like carved graffiti into it. You can see sort of there's some moulding up there as well, and there's all these black discs up there. They're all sort of iron sort of bars and supports for the tower, because yeah, it's unsafe and the tower could collapse, so that's sort of reinforcing it.
They're really old supports,
Yeah, they are old supports. Danger do not enter falling masonry.
Like this is like 1850.
Okay, so while we're here at Cold Christmas, I thought I'd crack open one of my HCC Herefordshire gold ciders again. So yeah, once again, happy Halloween. Cheers. Owen and Jake have just found this graffiti from 1829. You should just be able to make it out, not like that. Yeah, 1829. RM. It's about all I can make out really, but graffitiists back then were a lot neater as well. They had really neat handwriting, unlike that one up there, or the Wrestling Forever for Life one that we saw. Yeah, so apparently there's like stories of like a ghost army in the 1970s coming through the tower here and heading out this way through the graveyard, and there was a lady walking towards the tower, and yeah, this army just walked right through her. I don't know if it was a Roman army or anything like that. It didn't really say, I can't really remember. Yeah, and of course inside the tower it's believed that when you could get in the tower, if you climbed the spiral staircase up there, something would growl at you, which they believed to be a demon or the devil lived in the tower to keep people out. Of course it's on a north-south alignment associated with the devil, paganism. And yeah, usually they would pull those churches down, but of course from the history earlier we proved that wasn't the case, so a lot of it is myths and stuff, but myths are still fascinating, so I don't see any reason why people still shouldn't believe in them really. It makes it all the more interesting. We probably wouldn't have heard about this place or come here if they didn't exist, so it's all good. Show you some of the graves over here as well. So where I'm walking now would have been the chancel and the nave. We sort of worked out some of the tombstones. A lot of them over there are really smashed up and broken, unfortunately, but a lot of these here are still intact, apart from that one in the middle. And yeah, so they removed a lot of them to the nearby museum for safekeeping. And then over there, in the darkness, you've got the Gutteridge family, sort of a lot of their headstones. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this would have been the floor of the church, or maybe sort of they had like tombs inside on the floor. Yeah,
that's a bit of it.
Yeah, definitely here. So
if you probably dug away most of your surf, you'd probably.
It would be absolutely brilliant if they did like an archaeological dig here.
We're on the altar now, I think.
Yeah, it probably would have been about here, yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I actually wish I'd bought my Screwfix work light now, because I can't really see that we're going to get caught by anyone here. There's no one about, so I could have just gone balls to the wall with the lights and, you know, lit up the tower a bit more for you. So yeah, apologies about that, but we just weren't really sure you know, what we was going to be able to get away with on this one, so still. We'll show you some more of it in the morning though anyway, but yeah, it's pretty cool here. Not as eerie as we thought it would be either. It's yeah, it's not too bad really. This is about the only scary thing we found here at Cold Christmas Church. These spiders. Excuse me, lots of them. Now, I'm not really a fan of spiders myself, neither was Jake, but they're not too bad.
Well,
though. It's the bigger ones, yeah. Owen's teasing them.
More carvings,
Yeah, there's a lot of them about. We're just sort of reading a lot of the carvings and stuff.
I'm very disappointed with that.
That is really bad. That's a. Like they must have bought tools down here to try and do that. Definitely, that's. Yeah, as I say, when we come here, it was about 14, 15 videos ago. I know that on my channel, like that wasn't like that. So people have come here since and sort of, you know, caused damage. You know, the headstones and the fireworks and that. There, it's not good.
Easier to pry the door off, wouldn't it?
It would, to be honest with you.
Look.
Someone's tried already. Yeah.
I mean, look at the bolts. They're not even. It's like an Allen key bolt.
Yeah. Thing is though, is they've actually filled the tower in with concrete. So even if you get through the door, yeah, they've filled it in. They've poured a load of concrete in there and stuff. So it's completely blocked up. So I'm told anyway. I mean, I don't know, but you got to go back to kind of like 2009, 2010, I think. And find old videos on YouTube of people where they've actually got into the tower, and you can actually, they've got footage and stuff of them climbing up the staircase and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're interested in seeing what it was like, just sort of have a peruse through a load of them really. But yeah, it's a shame really. I'm sure they could make it safe, but it's because of a few idiots and vandals that unfortunately we can't get in there to have a look. But still, it's pretty cool to be here though anyway. And there's that old sign that's been there for years and years. That's on all the videos, that one. Danger, keep out, falling masonry. Yeah, like we say, this yellow one, Heritage Watch, that's new. I think the protected place one's new. The orange one was here before. Yeah. Take one last look at the tower up there. It's pretty creepy, the windows up at the top there. Because obviously that bit's not filled in. Is there something still lurking up there? Who knows? It's just really creepy, just sort of darkness, and then just you see like the gravestones appear in the dark. But to be honest, I feel quite at peace here really, and it's quite calming really. Maybe if I was on my own it'd be a bit spookier, but it's actually really nice. Anyways, I think we're probably going to head back to camp to our tents. Alright guys, well it's just gone 1 in the morning now. The wind is picking up a little bit outside, but I'm in my Ridge Raider heat bivvy. It's really toasty in here. I've got you might just be able to see the Z light, and then of course my OEX pad, my down sleeping bag, got my OEX inflatable pillow, got my Thermarest stuff sack there, my rucksack here, and the light that's been put out is through the through night T10 lamp thing. And yeah, it's been good. Just been chatting, having a few drinks. So we're going to get up early. I don't know if there's going to be a sunrise or not really. I mean, we're in, you know, sort of woods here, so but yeah, we're aiming to get up sort of around 7ish really, and get an early start. Don't want to get caught here. So yeah, I'm going to say goodnight now. Say goodnight, Jake.
Stay up.
Say goodnight, Owen.
Good night, Owen.
We'll see you in the morning.
top of my bag was a massive...
Heidi High campers. It's gone 7 AM. We survived the night. We didn't get eaten by Brian the devil. It was all good. The church is just over that way. The sun's come up. We're gonna get some brekkie on the go and have a mooch around, have a look at the place in the morning and get packed up. See you in a bit. Okay, it's 8:30 and we're all packed up. We've kicked all the leaves back, taken our rubbish with us. We're leaving absolutely no trace. We're going to pop over to the church quickly, have one last look at that, and then we'll be heading off back to the cars. Okay, welcome back. We are back in the village of Thundridge and Wade's Mill, and yeah, it's been good. We're down this nice little street Jake really likes, these old Victorian houses and old gas street lamps. Owen, highlights. Let me catch up with you. Highlights.
Probably a wild camp actually. It was a decent one.
Good camp, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Walk was nice as well.
Yeah, it was a nice little walk. It was nice and simple.
Enjoyed the pub food, that was good too.
The pub food was really good, yeah. We didn't film that, but yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was a decent wild camp. Always going to Cold Christmas Church is always good. It's just something about it. Jake, highlights? Jake's over here. Hang on. Jake's getting photos of this street. It is quite nice.
Bit of everything, really.
Bit of everything.
It's quite successful. Good feed. I love the church. The food was good. The company was good. Enjoy it all. Done.
Good. That's our highlights. All right, we're back at the cars now, and we've all concurred it was a good little trip out. So I want to say a big thank you to Jake for finding out about the church.
Although it wasn't what we thought, slightly.
No, but
Still
like
a
as I
cool
say,
place.
if you hadn't have done the research on it, we wouldn't have found out about it, so we wouldn't be here. So cheers for that, and cheers for joining us as
Nice
well.
peaceful place.
Thank you to Owen as well for joining us, mate. Always a
Thank you
pleasure,
very much.
never a
Yeah,
chore.
cheers.
It's been good company. First time we've done 3 people on a camp, so yeah, and it was alright. It was a giggle. Thank you for watching, as always. Cheers for the support. Let us know what you think in the comments, as always. Like or dislike. If you haven't subscribed already, then please do. If you like what you see,
Do it now.
so yeah, cheers. You'll see us soon. Ta-ta.
Tally-ho.
Bye.